Okay. Hi, everybody. Am I audible and visible to everyone? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Great. How are you all doing? All good? Tell me, yes or no? All good?
Fine, sir. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great.
Yes, sir.
Ready to study? Ready to do
Yes.
some work?
Yes, sir.
Good. Fine. So I'll have a chat with you all about how we are going to proceed for the next few classes. Basically, I have given all of you the 7 mock tests which you're supposed to do over the coming few weeks. Okay. So now tell me, how many of you have done these mocks before also, or have done them any of them now? Whatever I have given. Has
So I
anyone?
attended I attended one
You attempted one. Which one?
mock 4.
Fourth one. Okay, just one of the randomly one of the mocks. Okay,
Yeah.
nobody else has attempted any of them. Okay, so now I have given you 7 mocks. Okay, you should do at least one mock in a week. Okay, I don't mind if you do it as a sectional test, like you do it 5 sectional tests, or you do the whole mock at once. That is totally up to you. Okay, we are going to discuss those mock tests in our classes. Okay, week by week. At least I will take up the legal reasoning part. Other teachers are free to either teach those, or you can see the explanations, and later on we can have, however it is, we can carry on. Okay, but as far as we're concerned right now, I have decided to take up the last mock, that is the mock number 7, and I will be teaching you that particular mock. Okay. So without further ado, let's get started. And if you all have any questions, that we can discuss it after the class. Okay. So I'm sharing the screen now. Is it visible to everybody? Can everyone see?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who would like to read out the passage? Please raise your hand. Then we can go ahead and read the passage. I'll give everybody a chance one by one. So let us start with Ashank. Okay, Ashank, you read out the first passage.
On 13 July, Manchester City saw its 2-year campaign league ban overturned by the Court of Arbitration for Sports. This means the club is now able to compete in future European competitions after the CAS found that most of the elite breaches of the Financial Fair Play Rule (FFP) were either not established or time barred. Manchester City first came to the attention of the Union of the European Football Association after the German magazine Der Spiegel published the league internal email at a club, which allegedly showed the club's executive discussing way to avoid FFP rules. The report also suggested that the 67.5 I don't know how to pronounce it, the symbol annual sponsorship offered by the Etihad Airlines had previously been paid of a company owned by the Sheikh Mansour Manchester City owner. The CAS in the Switzerland is considered the final arbitrator of the goal sports dispute and has lifted the unprecedented sanctions of the various imposed by the UEFA and reduced to 30M fine to 10 million. This discussion is another in a list of a high-profile appeal that the UEFA has lost in an attempt to hold some of the largest clubs in the football to account, including France, Paris, Saint-Germain, and Italy. AC Milan. The CAS also overturned another high-profile ban in a football this season. On 6 December 2019, Chesla saw their two widow transfer ban imposed by IFA slashed to just one window. There remains an option for UEFA to appeal the CAS decision to the Swiss Federal Court, an option enabled by the nature of the sport arbitration being seated in Switzerland. In a seat in arbitration determines the law governing the relationship between the tribunal and the court, and also determines which has a supervisory jurisdiction over the arbitration. However, an appeal to the Swiss federal on the basis of this legal mechanism is limited to the procedural aspect of the trial in the view of Gregory Islandis, a leading sports lawyer who teaches at Sheffield Hallam University. CAS judgments are rarely reversed by the Swiss Federal Court, and such CAS decisions are usually solid. Therefore, it is unlikely that European football governing body will take advantage of this option. The current case joins a growing list of decisions in which the CAS has sided with the football club rather than the football governing bodies. Indeed, many now questions if the CAS is the legal entity most equipped to enable the governing bodies to hold the wealthiest club in a football to account. La Liga president Javier Tebas is one of the individuals who told the media, "We have reassessed whether the CAS is the appropriate body to which appeals the institutional decision in a football. Switzerland is a country with a great history of arbitration. The CAS is not up to the standard. The same FFP rules in a question have now been relaxed for upcoming season, and European football look to counterpart the adverse financial effort resulting from COVID-19. The combination of this decision and the CAS ruling may prompt deregulation in sport. Such would evaluate the outcome of the case similar standing as the Postman ruling, a 1995 decision by the ECJ that made it easier for a player to move between a club is sparking a price hike in transfer fees and record a broadcasting contract. This passage is excerpt from Ban OD or Manchester City ban overturned by CAS available. Subban.
Okay. Now, was it a easy paragraph or a hard paragraph for you?
So
Hmm?
it's a hard for me.
It's hard for you. What about the
Yes.
rest? Easy or hard for all of you? Come on, answer me.
So, like the
Hard.
passages with talking about arbitration, so I guess the questions must be hard. But the passage was like somewhat revolving around the ban, how they're gonna ban, if they're gonna ban the clubs and the rules by the CAS and FIFA.
Right. Okay. So I also think that it is a bit hard, this passage. Okay. So
I thought it was a bit easy because most of it's about soccer and I like soccer.
exactly. So it all depends on, what you enjoy and what you don't enjoy, your likes and
Yes.
dislikes. I was just coming to this point. Exactly, John. Good. So because you see what happens sometimes in life, it is not actually the object which is, has any kind of a value, good, bad, evil, any kind of thing. It is usually our, vision of that object. So it is the subject. That is why we say it is subjective, isn't it? Something that differs from person to person, we say it is subjective because it is not the object, but it is my subjective view of that object. Now, John found it easy because he likes football. A passage about football, very, very easy for him, isn't it? Now, people hate to read about the financial news. Some people who are bankers, some people who are CAs or CS or accountants, they love this kind of passage. Anyone who is preparing for, let's say, RBI exam, or SBI exam, bank exam, they would love to read the financial passages, right? So it's all a matter of choice. Okay. Now when you find a passage that you think is tough, okay, so called tough, how to tackle it? Okay, the first way to tackle is that leave aside your personality from the passage. Your personality is not important to the passage is saying something, you have to understand that thing and you have to answer the question based on that thing. Whether you like it or don't like it, or it's easy or
Yes.
it's hard or whatever it is, that is not important, that is not relevant. Is your feelings about that passage relevant
No, sir.
to getting a good score on that? Your feelings are totally irrelevant. Why are you concerned with your feelings? Later on you talk about your feelings, but right now you focus on the passage. Don't focus on your feelings. So when you read, oh my God, this is so tough, I am so scared, I am so nervous, how will I do it? Only you are saying I, me, my feelings, my thoughts, my reaction, my emotion. But this paper is not about your feelings. It's not about your reaction. It's not about your emotion. It's about answering the question that is there in front of you. Okay. So once again, I'm just going to give you like 2 or 3 minutes. Okay. Just read the passage once again and try to understand what is written over there. Don't think about your own emotions regarding that passage. Okay. See what is written over there and try to understand what it's trying to say. Okay. That's all. Okay. Now, while you are reading, don't just read the next passage without understanding the first passage. Okay. So, what is the first passage saying? Just stop reading it once. Okay. Now, listen to me. What is the first passage trying to say? If you understand the first passage, you will get the whole context of the issue. On 13th July, Manchester City. Now, you need to know a few things like Manchester City is a football club. Okay, saw its 2 years Champion League ban. Champion League is a tournament. Okay, like you have in cricket, you have got IPL. Similarly, in soccer or American football, you can say it is sorry, not American football, soccer or football. Okay, American football is something else. It's like rugby. Okay, Champions League ban. So that means that Manchester United, the club, was banned from Champions League for 2 years, and that was overturned by court of arbitration for sport. Overturned means that ruling was overturned, like high court's ruling is overturned by Supreme Court. Similarly, the ruling which said that Manchester City could not play in Champions League for 2 years, that was overruled by the court of arbitration for sport. They said, okay, you can play. This means the club is now allowed to compete in future European competitions after this CAS, that's the Court for Arbitration for Sport, found that most of the alleged breaches of financial fair play rules were either not established or time barred. Means you have to give some reason for which you are saying that someone is guilty or not guilty, right? So, what was the accusation? The accusation was the alleged breaches. Alleged means accused, the accusation. Okay, in any case, if I file a case, I have to say on what ground I am filing the case, right? I am filing the case for murder, isn't it? Similarly, they are filing the case for breaches of financial fair play rules. These are the rules which they said that you have not followed. So that's why we are filing a case against you. But the CAS held that those allegations were not proved, they were not established, or they were time barred. Means you can't come after a certain amount of time. If, like today, I stole your pen, then you can't come after 20 years and say, sir, in 2020 you had stolen my pen, right? Because in 2020, a lot of things happened. Probably me stealing your pen was the smallest incident of 2020 that you had to worry about. Okay, you can't come to me 20 years later. That's called time bar. That's called limitation. Usually it applies to 3 years for most contracts, sometimes 12 years in the case of mortgages also with like banks and things like that. Okay, so that's the thing. Now, Similarly, you have to read the next few passages. Only then will you be able to understand very clearly the whole story. Okay. Now I have told you the first passage. Read the rest in the same way. Okay. Are you all done now? I think this is enough time to read the passage. Okay. If you have not read it by now, then you should know that your reading speed needs to improve quite a lot. Okay. Let me just tell you very, very clearly. If after this much time, which right now I have given you, you have not read the entire passage, then trust me, your reading speed needs to improve a lot. Otherwise, you will have a very, very tough time in CLAT. I'm just telling all of you very honestly and very clearly right now, 6 months before the exam, that if you cannot read this in the amount of time I just gave you, then you are in for a lot of trouble if you don't practice really hard starting right now. Okay, it's still doable, but if you waste any more time, you have no time to waste, literally. Okay, now if anyone can tell me why this is the title of the piece, then that will be really nice. John, if you know, you can answer because you are a football fan. What is the name of the piece, the article?
The name of the article? I don't understand, sir.
The article that we have just read, the passage we have just read, it has a source, right? The source is what? An article, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So, what is the name of the article? If I want to know, where will I find that?
Um,
Anybody can answer
Okay,
me. It's a
okay.
very simple question. There's a passage right now that we have read.
From Little Law,
Sorry?
sir, from littlelaw.com.
Yeah, from littlelaw.com. I'm asking the name of the article.
The name of the article is Ban on D or Manchester City ban.
Manchester overturned by CS.
Exactly. Okay, exactly. And why do you think they have called it ban on Dior? Does it mean anything?
So because Balloon d'Or is the award function, I guess.
Yeah, very good. That's an award. Okay, Ballon d'Or is an award. So this is a pun. This is an example of pun. You have studied pun in your English class, right? It's a figure of speech. It's a pun. It's a play on words because it is actually Ballon d'Or. It means like golden ball. Okay, that's an award, Golden Boot Award. Okay, and here because it refers to a football award, like Oscars refers to a movie award. So Ballon d'Or. So they have called it ban on Dior because the whole article is about a ban, right? And some kind of football ban. So that's how they have made a little joke out of it. Okay. So when you read these things, you appreciate these things, it creates your interest in it. It's not boring after that, you know. So this is the thing. Okay. So anyway, let's move to the questions. I hope that you all will be able to answer because they are pretty simple questions actually. Okay. So starting with number one, once again, the same rules apply. Please raise your hand whoever wants to answer and I'll give you a chance. But I want everyone to participate or I will just call on you one by one and you all have to answer. Okay. Okay. First one, let's start with John. Go ahead. Can you answer it?
On which of the following grounds did the CIS overturn Man City's ban? X. The claims were not proved. Y. The claims were time barred. And C. The claims were not relevant. I think the option is. Could you scroll down, sir? I'm sorry, sir. I meant scroll down because I couldn't see the options.
Okay. Can you see now?
Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes. Okay. I think the options are X and Y. I think option D, sir.
Why do you think so?
I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir. It's not established, so I think it's Y and Z because it's in the first passage's last line that the claims were time barred and not established, or
So
not established.
that means not proved and time barred. So X and Y, that means D. Right?
Yes, sir.
Good. That's very, very simple. Well done, John. That's the correct answer. Okay. I think it's very clear to all of you. Very, very simple. And if it's not clear, then do remember that you have a lot of work to do. Okay. If it's clear to you, only. It's like passage after passage of English comprehension, more or less. Whether it is actually the English language subject or it is legal or logical or whatever it is, there's a just comprehension. Okay. Now, moving to the second question. This is a very, very direct question. I don't think that you all need to apply much of your brain. Yes, Shantanu.
So the correct answer is D.
D.
CAS.
Very simple because it is directly given in the passage. Okay. Next. A seat in arbitration determines what? Okay. Now let's see what the passage says about seat in arbitration. Can anyone find where it is talking about seat in arbitration?
So third paragraph.
It's in the passage 1, 2, 3, fourth passage.
So one,
Passage,
two,
second line.
3, fourth passage. Here?
No, the passage, no, it's the previous passage. A seat in arbitration determines.
Read it out.
Sir, can you please zoom out?
Just give me a second. Yeah. Better now?
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
A seat in arbitration determines the law governing the relationship.
Does everyone know where he's reading? Yeah? Go ahead.
A seat in arbitration determines the law governing the relationship between the tribunal and the courts and also determines which court has supervisory jurisdiction over the arbitration. So, I mean, we can pretty
So
much find
from
out the
that, what
answer
you
from that.
understood? So what you could understand as relating to question number 3, what you could understand from this?
Uh,
Can you
the
answer it
answer
now?
should be A,
Why
Y,
A?
and Z.
Huh.
It's explicitly
Because of what we just understood. But can you explain in your own words?
in my own words. No, I
Yeah.
don't understand option Y. I don't understand like what kind of relationship, you know, is between the tribunal and the courts.
No, so you don't, do you have any answer? What is your
No,
answer?
sir. For answer, I think so. It's A, Y, and Z.
So then what's the issue?
Like I don't understand what kind of relationship is between the tribunal and the courts.
Okay.
Hey, it is the arbitration that determines the relationship between the tribunal and the courts, right? That
Yeah,
is what written in the passage.
yeah.
But what is the relationship between the tribunal
Oh,
and the courts? That I cannot explain.
okay. No, that is fine. That is beyond the scope of the question and beyond the scope of the passage, right? If you're asking for your own knowledge, I can tell you that a seat in arbitration determines the law governing the relationship between the tribunal and the courts. It means because seat is what? First of all, what is a seat in arbitration? A seat of arbitration, basically, if you see the first point, it talks about venue of arbitration. So seat of arbitration is Delhi, for example. Okay, so the arbitration will take place in Delhi. Okay, what does that mean? That if there is any challenge to the arbitration, where does it go? Do you know? If there is any challenge to the arbitration or the arbitral award, where does it go?
No, sir, I don't know.
It goes to the court. You
Okay.
understand? It goes to the court. And which court it will go to? It will go to that court only, na, where the seat is. So if the seat is in Delhi, it will go to Delhi High Court.
Yes, sir.
Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
So that is the relation between the arbitral tribunal and the court
Okay, sir.
as concerning the seat of arbitration. You understand?
And it's the arbitration which decides which court
Yeah, because
will
if
have the
you and I
jurisdiction
are
of
having
the
a
decision.
contract and we have decided in case there's any dispute between us, it will be settled in an arbitration which is going to be held in Delhi. You understand? So of
Okay.
course, once that arbitration takes place, and it's called award, okay, arbitral award as opposed to a judgment of a court. So the award that is given is in your favor. I don't agree to it. So where I will appeal? I will appeal to the court, isn't it? And I will appeal to that court only where the seat is. Obviously, if the arbitration it took place in Delhi, then appeal will also happen in the Delhi High Court only, right? It's common sense. Okay. So, and it's also
Yes,
the
sir.
law, of course, in the Arbitration Act, you will find it. But this is obviously common sense, isn't it? So, that is why we say that a seat in arbitration determines the relation between the arbitral tribunal and the court. Because if the arbitration is happening in Delhi, then the court will also be that of Delhi itself. Okay. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
is that the correct answer?
yes, you are right. The answer you have given is correct. Okay. A seat in arbitration determines the law governing the relationship between the tribunal and the courts and also determines which court has supervisory jurisdiction over the arbitration, which we have also discussed in the passage. Good. Now, next one. Who is going to volunteer or I have to choose? Mimansha, go ahead. I have not heard from you yet.
The question says, which of the following criticisms does the CAS face with respect to institutional football disputes? So, Sarsh, can you just scroll up?
More?
No, sir, all right. Can you go to the options? Is it option B, X and Z? X and Z, yeah.
X and Z.
Z.
Just see Y also. You are saying Y is not there. I'm not concerned that X and Z is there. Is Y there or is Y not there? What is Y? CES favors clubs over leagues and association in its decision. Okay. Now see over here. Is it something saying like this?
So in the fifth passage, starting of the fifth passage,
What does it say? Read it out.
the current case joins a growing list of decisions in which the
Does everyone know
CAS
where it's
is sided,
over here?
Yeah.
has sided with football clubs rather than football's governing body.
So here it's saying favors clubs over leagues. Okay. So therefore, the answer is actually C. Well done. So you got 2 out of 3, right? That's good. But actually, the answer is all 3 is present in the passage. Okay. So many now question if the CES is the legal entity most equipped to enable government bodies to hold the wealthiest clubs in football to account. La Liga president Javier Tebas is one of the individuals who told the media we have to reassess whether the CES is the appropriate body to which to appeal institutional decisions in football. Switzerland is a country with a history of arbitration. The CES is not up to standard. Okay, that is the answer. Good. Next, final one. Who has not answered till now? Ashank, have you answered? Okay, go ahead, Ashank. You answer.
And the question says, which of the following reason made the author conclude that football might be deregulated? This CAS decision, the global health pandemic caused by SARS-CoV-2 virus, the financial crisis caused by COVID, the increasing wealth gap between the football club. So can you move to the last paragraph? Yes, sir. I want options. Please scroll down. So I think option will be A.
A. Why A?
Because of the CAS decision, and in the last paragraph also it talks about COVID-19 also crisis.
Excellent, Ashank. The answer is A. The FPP rules have now been relaxed for the upcoming season as European football looks to counteract the adverse financial effects resulting from COVID-19. The combination of this decision and the CAS ruling may prompt deregulation in the sport. Right? Very well done, Ashank. And all of you have answered. Big clap for all of you. Okay, clap for yourselves. Come on. Because this was not an easy passage. Like I said in the beginning, maybe you have an interest in football, which makes it a bit easier for you. Okay, but like I said, these are your own personal feelings and thoughts and subjective opinions, which you should leave outside the exam hall. Okay, before you start reading the passage and solving the paper. Okay, even if you are just doing a practice, even if you are just doing one passage, okay, just leave beside whoever you are, like Vishrut or Ashank or Mimansha or Shantanu or John. You are not that person. You are the passage. We are all the same. We are what? We are the passage. Read the passage. See what the passage is trying to say. See what the examiner is trying to check that you understood from the passage or not. and you answer the question. They are not asking you a question like, do you prefer BJP or do you prefer Congress, or do you prefer blue color or you prefer red color? No one is asking you that. They're asking you read a passage. And if you read the passage, in the passage it says that color of rainbow, if they're all combined, they make the color what? Which color they make? Do you know?
White.
They
So
make
right.
the color, they make the color white, isn't it? So if that is written in the passage that all the 7 colors combine and they make it white, it doesn't matter that you hate the color white and you like the color pink or blue or red. Because when the question in the below the passage asks that when the 7 colors combine, which color they make, over there you have to write white. Your feeling, your opinion, your subjective like and dislike, it doesn't matter. So why do you bring that into the passage? Such a difficult passage, once you left all these things at the door, how easy it became? Isn't it? Just leave your own personality at the door of the exam hall. When you walk in, you are not you are the paper. You are the passage. You are the examiner, not the examinee, the examiner. Because if you can enter mind of examiner, then you can get the right answer. Okay. Why I say this is because these passages are very, very subjective now. It's not like maths, like 2 plus 2 has to be 4. Right. But somebody might read about farmers' protest, they might support. Somebody might read about farmers' protest, they might oppose. And they might write a passage about it. And when they ask questions, they will ask it in a way that you are supposed to answer it in that way. I'll give you an example. Now, in the CLAT paper this time, there was a question that a mother, asked her children to paint on her naked body. Okay. And the question asked was, is this a violation? Is this like part of her right of freedom of expression, that it's my body, I can do whatever I want with it, it's art, right? The answer given was that yes, this falls in under the right to freedom of expression. So she has not done anything wrong or criminal or guilty, right? But in real life, that same incident took place and the court held her guilty and gave her fine and punishment also. So who is right in this and who is wrong? Can you say that the judge is wrong? Or can you say CLAT consortium is wrong? Both are right and both are wrong. You get my point? It is subjective. But when you are solving the CLAT paper, then you have to think like the examiner in CLAT, what they want to say as the answer. And if you read that passage very carefully, it was clear that they wanted you to say that it was totally fine. Do you get my point? So, whenever you read the passage, try and think with the frame of mind which the examiner has made that question and what the examiner wants to hear, right? So like sometimes when you want your mom or your dad to give you something, you know how to ask them कि अगर ऐसे मांगेंगे तो मुझे मिलेगा, right? Same way you have to do with the passage. Okay, so now with this mindset, let us do one more passage. Okay, fine. Who would like to read? Okay, go ahead, Hijab. Mimansha, you will read the next one. Okay.
On Sunday, so am I audible?
Yes, you are. Go ahead.
On Sunday, Rajya Sabha passed 2 of the 3 farm reform bills that have seen widespread protest in the recent weeks, particularly in Haryana and Punjab, where the ruling BJP has lost and its ally, Shiromani Akali Dal, Prime Minister Narendra Modi retreat. So, what's the pronunciation?
Reiterated. It means once again. Dohrana. Hindi में बोलते हैं ना दोहराना. Reiterated.
reiterated that that farmers will benefit from the change. First, mentioned as part of the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan package, the first thing to do is to simplify the names of these ordinances, as agriculture economist Sudha Narayan of IGIDR has done. So think of the Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Ordinance 2020 as the Agricultural Produce Market Committee APMC bypass ordinance treat the Essential Commodities Amendment Ordinance 2020 as the Freedom of Food Stocking of Agribusinesses Ordinance and the Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Ordinance 2020 as the Contract Farming Ordinance. On paper, what the first attempt is to do is allow the farmers to sell their produce at places other than the APMC regulated mandis. It is crucial to note that the idea is not to shut down the APMCs but to expand a farmer's choice. So if a farmer believes a better deal is possible with some other private buyers, then he can take that option instead of selling in the APMC mandi. The second bill proposes to allow economic agents to stock food articles freely without the fear of being prosecuted for hoarding. The third bill provides a framework for farmers to enter into the contract farming, that is, signing a written contract with a company to produce what the company wants in return of a healthy remuneration. The idea with all the three bills is to liberalize the farm markets in the hope that doing so will make the system more efficient and allow for better price realization for all concerned, especially the farmers. The central concern presumably is to make Indian farmers more remunerative enterprise than it is right now. There are two diametrically opposite ways to look at these changes. One is to believe that the plan on the paper will operationalize perfectly in real life. This would mean farmers will get out of the clutches of the monopoly of APMC mandis to evade the rent-seeking behavior of the traditional intermediaries and Arhatiyas. So what is it? So in the
Sorry,
braces,
Arhatiyas.
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 Okay, sure. A farmer would be able to pick and choose who to sell to and what the price
Basically,
are.
like they are kind of like middlemen, you know.
Yes, sir.
They have to sell to that kind of thing. Yeah.
A farmer would be able to pick and choose who to sell and at what price after making an informed decision, and that most crucially, when he does this more often than not, he will end up earning more than what he typically did in the past when he sold his produce through the exploitative arhatiyas in the APMC mandis. The polar opposite viewpoint from the protester is that this move towards greater play of free markets is a ploy by the government to get away from its traditional role of being a guarantor of minimum support price MSPS. To sure, MSPS works in formally regulated APMC mandis and not in private deals. Farmers, especially in Punjab and Haryana, where PCs are more prominently employed, are suspicious of what the market will offer and how the big companies will treat them. Farmers can influence the most powerful government through the electoral process. By vis big companies, they are exposed as minor players incapable of bargaining effectively. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Good. Now, I think it's very clear to everybody that this is about the farmers' bills protests which are happening recently. Okay, something closer to home, something we all know about, and something we should all know about, right? So, first of all, can somebody tell me what is happening right now with the whole farmers' bill issue? It's a GK issue, right? It's a current affairs issue. Does anybody know about it? No clue. No one
What's
has
the
any.
thing? Can you say repeat the question? What did you
The
ask?
farmers' protests that are happening right now all over the country, right? What is that
Yes, sir.
about?
About these farmers only.
About these farmers, yes. What about them? What are they doing? Why are they doing? What is the issue?
Yeah, they are like protesting around New Delhi. They have restricted all the highways. That's what happening, and
And
they
they are
are asking
protesting
the central
against the
government
farm
to
bills.
implement the
What do
laws.
the farm bills say? What are they protesting against? What is the issue?
Uh, it's well, according to them, they think that there are new laws are in step to take away MSPs, which according to them are their right, and rather than that, government should reinforce not APMCs, I mean MSPs, and provide a proper legislation for MSPs. They think uh, like if these laws are implemented, they will be exploited by the big corporations.
Okay. Yes, Hijab, you had raised your hand.
Yes, sir. So from the passage, what I understood earlier, I was knowing about a little bit like the three farm bills have been passed and the protest.
Your voice is not clear.
So right now,
Yeah.
so there are basically three farm bills which have been passed by the center, and the farmers they are protesting against the MSPCs, which are like basic some amount of money which is minimum amount which is like always allotted to the farmers. And right now the government is shutting down the APMCs and the MSPCs and making new laws so that the farmers they can actually get into direct contact with the corporate world. Like they can get into contact with the bigger companies, and they can produce their the yield which the companies want them to produce. They can now regulate their
Right.
yes, sir.
Very good, Hijab. That is very well answered. And also, like, it shows the kind of current awareness.
I mean,
Okay.
just a correction. I mean, the central government is not shutting down APMCs. Like, if the farmer wants, then he can still
Okay,
go to APMC to sell his produce.
Yes.
okay, okay,
Very good.
okay.
Very good, Pranshu. That's a correct statement
Thank
you
you.
have made. Yeah. This is the kind of level of discussion I want in the class. Okay. Not just one or two people, but like everybody should be answering and, participating in that. It's very good. It should be the case. Okay. Now, um, tell me something that in a democracy, if I am not, as a citizen, I am not in favor of a law. Okay. The only way that I can actually say that I'm not in favor of it is if that law is illegal. If the law is legal, then who am I to challenge that law? As a citizen, I can only challenge that law which I feel is illegal. Illegal means it goes against the Constitution of India. It is unconstitutional. So I have to file a case in a court saying that this law is bad, it is illegal, it is unconstitutional, it should be struck down. That is the democratic process. So, why, if people are not in favor of any law, they are coming and protesting on street? When democracy has provided a solution, why are you doing that? Does anyone have any answer to this?
So to raise awareness and make more people join their group,
Yeah.
because as such if like two to three people are not like, or say 100 people they are not willing to willing to go for a law, they think that it is unconstitutional. I don't think so anything would happen like if 100 or 200 people or even 1000 people in such a democracy like India would go to the the court and say that this law is unconstitutional.
But then don't you think that it's creating a nuisance? You are occupying a public space, you are just blocking the road, and you are just
Maybe
But
creating a
the
again,
nuisance.
Constitution has provided us that liberty, to protest, to express our feelings.
What liberty is this? I have never heard of this liberty. Is it
So,
written
freedom,
anywhere?
the
free
freedom of
Particularly in
speech
this
and
case, I
expression.
think so. There has been a lot of having a lot lack of communication between the central government and the farmers. Like farmers still think, I mean, that one of the big reasons that they are protesting is that they think that the central government is going to take away their MSP rights.
So
right?
there's a level of
That's
distrust.
not the only thing, you know, because
Yeah, there's a level of
the
yeah.
corporates can like exploit the farmers if the whole thing is privatized.
Right. So first of all,
No,
there is
but
a
the laws
level of,
also provide a way. I mean, they also provide setting up councils where farmers can approach if they are in any way they think that they are being exploited by
So,
Yeah,
but
but
that
that
they have,
the,
they have
the
told
that's
that
corporate.
they
not
don't
really
want any
practical.
council such that as that.
see,
Yeah,
the thing
they
is,
still can go to the APMCs.
see, the
If
No,
thing
they
what
is,
if the
want.
corporates make a
no,
contract? Okay, okay. Please
see, the reason behind this is that there is a level of distrust or mistrust which is there between the parties. Okay, so if there's a relation like friends or brothers or something like this, where somebody trusts you that okay, you will take care of me, you will create a council where my problems will be heard, my feelings will be addressed, no problem. But what's happening right now is that I don't trust you. And why I don't trust you? Because I saw what you did when I protested against you. The moment I raised any complaints, you put a water cannon on me, you beat me, you removed me, you threw me. So obviously, I will not trust you. Right? Obviously. So that's what's going on
Excuse
right
me, sir.
now. Yeah.
So, but the thing is, I mean, the farmers don't actually know about the real whatever the bill has been passed, and the opposition parties they are playing the main role. I mean, in
Yeah.
brainwashing them, like
Now,
the government,
now, very good
whatever
point.
decision it's against you.
Very good point, Varishtha. Okay, very good point, Varishtha. And I'll add to that point and I will say that if there's so much mistrust and distrust and all of these things, then why did you vote for me? Why did you vote for my government? Because from the farmers, there was wide amount of support, and this is a democracy. Okay,
Yes,
if
sir.
you don't like me, if you don't want me, then you don't vote for me. I will not come into power, isn't it? What is the
Yes,
need
sir.
to climb on the road and make a hangama over there, make a scene over there? Okay, and many of these things are politically motivated also, because if you
Yes,
see the
sir.
Delhi
Mainly
government,
the Khalistani people are supporting them. I
right?
mean, to protest.
If you see the AAP or the AAP, they have said that we will provide the shelter and we will provide the housing and all for all these farmers. Why? Because BJP's loss is AAP's gain, isn't it? So these are
Yes, sir.
somewhat politically motivated also. But one thing we must remember, okay, India is a land of farmers. Okay, that is why the slogan which was given by Lal Bahadur Shastri is still valid today when he said Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. Because in India, only these two people are really, they have some kind of a relationship with everyone in this country. There's something related to the heart with everyone in this country, that is the farmers and the soldiers of our country, because they are the most selfless people, right? They are the most selfless people. They give their life for us. Okay. And teachers also, I would say. Okay. So this is what we really care about in India. This is why a topic like this goes beyond any political party. Okay. This is why these kind of issues go beyond any religious kind of sentiments. Okay. Because these are issues which really concern the people who are feeding us, feeding all of us. Okay. So I feel personally, if you ask my view, that definitely there is a lot of politics involved. Definitely there is a lot of bad blood involved, mistrust and distrust and everything. But the matter should be dealt with a little sensitively. Okay, maybe it has been created by political parties. Maybe it is just a eyewash. Maybe that there are different ways. But remember one thing. Okay, India. When I asked you where is it written, what is provided, I am not talking about the right to freedom of speech and expression. There is one more right. That right is called the right to assembly without arms. Have you heard that? The right to assemble without arms. That's what we did in Jallianwala Bagh before we were shot dead. That's what the people were doing today before water cannons were released on them. There is no difference between Jallianwala Bagh and today, right? If this is going to be the reaction to some kind of peaceful protest, even when Gandhiji marched, his people were also beaten up with sticks and this and that, right? It's the same thing. if in a civilized country, even in Thailand it is happening. I had spoken about Thailand few days back. I had spoken about Hong Kong few days back, right? If the reaction to peaceful protest is going to be force, then that is no longer a democracy. Okay, there has to be a space for dialogue. Okay, then only we can proceed forward, right? So all these kind of things which I have just said right now, these are my opinions. They are just my personal opinions, and I am not kind of holding anybody else to my opinion that you have to also agree with my opinion, isn't it? But you will find these kind of opinions only in the passages. You will find people's opinions, especially in English language passages. Everything you read is somebody's opinion. So you have to just kind of try and understand what is that person's opinion and answer the questions accordingly. So if you right now read a passage by me, the correct answer to the question would be that things should be handled sensitively. Maybe that is my view. If you ask Varishtha, Varishtha's view is that this is all a political game, isn't it? If you ask Hijab, Hijab would say this is the right to freedom and expression, right? Similarly, we all have our opinions, but none of our opinion matter. The only opinion that matters the one in given in passage. Okay, and if you read the CLAT papers, mostly you will find that they give emphasis upon freedom of speech, they give emphasis upon secularism, they give emphasis upon feminism. Okay, they favor LGBTQ. Okay, very very liberal kind of outlook is there in that entire paper. Okay, so keep that in mind when you answer your questions. All right, let's move to the questions now. You can raise your hand who wants to answer, and I will ask you all. Okay, Mimansha, go ahead.
I think option D.
D for Delhi.
Yeah, D for Delhi.
Okay, very good. And what's the reason?
Because if we will move to that section of the passage where it's written, so it's clearly written that they are not in the motive to shut down the APMCs, or they are not telling them.
Yes. Yes.
Like they are not forcing them on. Yeah. So if we will go to that section, that part, it's all the three options are written. So
Right.
they are just opposing that fact. So option D is correct.
Very good. The Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Ordinance 2020 allows farmers to sell their produce at places other than the APMC regulated mandis. We have read this very clearly. The idea is not to shut down APMCs, but to expand the farmers' choices. So I think that, excuse me, this passage is very, very balanced. This is not giving a one-sided approach. Farmer bill is good or farmer bill is bad. No, they are just giving every side of the story, which is very good. If you find this kind of passage, it's very rare and very good also. Okay, good, Mimansha. Next one. Yes, Hijab, go ahead.
Where can a farmer sell their product as per the Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Ordinance 2020? Option A, APMCs. Option B, private parties. Option C, both A and B, whoever gives higher price for the product. And option D, both A and B. So I think option C, because clearly it's mentioned in the passage, their aim is not to shut down the APMCs. It's basically the financial assurance of the farmers, so that they can give the farmers a broader choice for broader choice, so that they can sell their products apart from APMCs, even to the private parties.
Okay, so the answer will be
C.
C. I think that it could be D also, na?
Yes, sir, D also. So, but it was written in the passage that the basic aim is to financial assurance for the farmers.
Tell
So
me
I
where it
think
is there.
so. mm, so scroll a little bit up. So here, so first para,
Hmm.
last line, second last line. From here, the Freedom of Food Stocking by Agribusiness Ordinance and Ordinance 2020, the Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Ordinance 2020 as Contract Farming Ordinance. So
Huh. So you are absolutely right that it will be A and B, but there might be a lot of course, the consideration would be price only. So it would be C, but it is not specifically given, but that is fine. I think like C or D, either one which we have taken, because C you will assume that obviously it will be about price only, right?
Yes, sir. But
If a
at the end of the day,
farmer
it's the
believes,
discretion of the farmer, right? If he wants to
yeah,
sell to APMC, like
exactly.
he can also sell at lower price if he wants, right?
but
It's
that's
up to
what
him
but
only.
that's what we are saying, that logically speaking it would not be the case. It could be for any reason. Maybe he likes that guy's face better. It could be for any
yes, sir.
reason, but
Hmm.
usually the reason would be money.
Yes, sir.
if a
Money
So
farmer
what
related.
will be the
believes
right answer?
if a farmer believes a better deal is possible with some other private buyer, then he can
Yes,
take
sir.
that option instead of selling in the APMC mandi. It is entirely the farmer's choice. Okay, fine. Simple enough question. What are the aims of the three bills?
So, sir, C is the right answer for seventh question.
For seven questions, see, I would give C or D, both I would allow. No problem.
Okay, sir.
Yes, Shantanu?
So answer option B is correct. All four.
Answer B is correct. All four. Okay, very good. I think everyone agrees with that. Number nine. Yes, Varishta, go ahead.
Three of the following statements are reasons for the fourth statement, which is the primary argument for supporters of the bill. A. Farmer will Farmer will get out of the clutches of the monopoly of APMC mandis. B. Farmer will end up earning more than what he typically did in the past. C. Farmer would be able to pick and choose who to sell to at what price after making an informed decision. D. Farmer will evade the rent-seeking behavior of Atharias.
Tell me, what would be the answer?
So,
And
what's the question exactly asking? I mean, I'm not able to understand the first line of the question.
three of the following statements are reasons for the fourth statement, which is the primary argument for supporters of the bill.
So, it would be option A, number D, farmer will evade the rent seeking behavior of Athias.
Um, Yes, I would agree with you. That is the main point. I think what the question is saying, which is the primary argument for support of the bill. Finally, what will happen is that the rent-seeking behavior of the Arhatiyas, who are the middlemen, that would again be avoided as well. Okay, so
Yes,
I
sir.
think we can go with D. Okay, good. Do you want to take the next one as well? 10th one?
Which of the following is not a question raised about the effectiveness of the bills? Option A, it would take away the MSP protection. Option B, it would lead to more corruption. Option C, it would make farmers vulnerable to exploitation by big companies. And option D, there is no guarantee that the market price will be higher than MSP.
Yeah, tell me.
So just a second.
Hmm. Should I scroll up to the passage?
No, sir, it's all right. I need to see the options only.
Okay.
So it would be option D. There is no guarantee that market price will be higher than MSP.
Option?
D.
Are you sure? Just
Yes,
check
sir.
it once. Can anyone find this number D in the passage? See the questions. Take away MSP protection, lead to more corruption, make farmers vulnerable, and guarantee that market price will be higher than MSP. Okay. Can anyone find it?
The question asks that which of the options would cast doubt on the like the effectiveness of the bills, right? So
Which of the
there is
following
no.
is not a question raised about the effectiveness of bills? Means
Yes, sir.
there
Yes, sir.
have been some criticism of bill. This that it will
Yes, sir.
take away MSP protection, it will lead to more corruption, it
Yes,
will
sir.
make farmers vulnerable. There is no guarantee that
So,
market price
but
will be high. Huh.
sir, the people are afraid that the government will take away the MSP, right? So if there is no guarantee that the market price is higher than the MSP, that would make taking away the MSP more dangerous. If not, then the market price is higher, then obviously
But
there is
is
no
it
need for
written
the MSP.
anywhere? But is it written anywhere?
So I think we can logically like um, infer it out of the passage, because if the market price is already,
Excuse
there's a
me, sir.
guarantee that,
Yeah.
So the question says, which is not a question raised about the effectiveness of the bill. So
Yeah.
I don't think this was raised anywhere. That there is no guarantee that the market
but
price will
option
be
B
higher
is
than
not raised
MSP.
anywhere
Yes,
too, right?
sir. Exactly. Where's the option B
Yeah.
mentioned in the passage then?
Correct. So there is no guarantee that market price will be higher than MSP. So for this, you have to understand the whole.
So it's in the
Uh,
last passage where they're making the argument that the government will take away the MSPs. Now they're concerned that the government is taking away the MSP only because they think the corporates will provide them
See,
less money than the
farmers,
MSP.
especially in Punjab and Haryana, where MSPs are more prominently employed, are suspicious of what the markets will offer and how the big companies will treat them. Basically, they are saying what the markets will offer, which means that if I'm getting 10 rupees as my, what is MSP? Minimum support price. That means if I'm a farmer and I'm growing rice or I'm growing wheat or maize or whatever, okay, I know that I will get at least 10 rupees per kilo from the government. I have to get. Now, if you take away the MSP, what is the guarantee that Reliance or Adani or somebody will actually pay me 11 rupees for the same kilo? What is the guarantee that they will pay me 10 rupees? And what is the guarantee they will not pay me 9 rupees? That's what it is saying, right? Of course, I as a farmer would always want from a private person to pay me more than MSP. But if I am scared that the private person will pay me less than MSP, then only I will want, right? Now, corporate jobs. All of you want corporate jobs once you finish your law school. Because why? You will earn a lot of money, much more than government jobs. Now, if government says that there will be no minimum salary, you say, how do I care, man? You don't have any minimum salary. I know that corporate will anyway pay me 3 times what you can afford to pay me. So, how do I care? But farmers are worried. That is why they are protesting. Understood? Corruption is nowhere mentioned. Of course, there will be corruption, widespread corruption, but it's not mentioned here. Okay, that is why the answer will be B. But Varishta, good job. I think you have given a very good argument because nowhere it is directly mentioned. So you are right in that way. Okay,
Okay, sir.
good. Now, Next, I had already asked Mimansha, so you can go ahead. Mimansha, please read the passage.
Yes, sir. So the passage is Indian Matchmaking is the Netflix show which has made waves in the Indian marriage market. It attempts to portray how the Indian matchmaking industry works. As entertaining as this show is, the discussions revolve around the complexion, height, weight, and caste of the suitors involved. These social factors may or may not be important to you, but one must look at what the legal criteria are for Hindu marriages in India. For a marriage to be legally recognized as a Hindu marriage, certain criteria need to be met under the Hindu Marriage Act 1955. If you want to marry under the Hindu Marriage Act, you have to be one of the following set of persons. Any person who is a Hindu by religion, this includes Vaishnava, Lingayat, or a follower of the Brahmo, Pratna, or Arya Samaj. Buddhist, Jain, or Sikh by religion, persons who practice other religions such as Muslims, Christians, Parsis, or Jews cannot get married under this law. As per Section 5 of the Hindu Marriage Act, the minimum age for a marriage under Hindu law is 21 years of age for the groom and 18 years of age for the bride. If this age criterion is not met, then the marriage is voidable, that is, it can be voided at the option of the bride. There is no upper limit when it comes to age. Valid Hindu marriages require both the bride and groom to give consent to the marriage. If you are not able to give consent because of unsoundness of mind or because of a mental disorder which makes you unfit for marriage and the procreation of children, shit.
Um, I think Mimansha is facing some technical issue. Meanwhile, Hijab, why don't you continue?
Yes, sir. Okay. Unsoundness, give consent because of first point, unsoundness of mind, because of a mental disorder which makes you unfit for marriage and procreation of children, or if you get recurrent attacks of insanity, your marriage will not be valid. Since the Hindu Marriage Act is a silent on the definition of soundness and insanity, courts have given some clarification regarding the meaning of sound or unsound mind. The Supreme Court in state of Rajasthan versus Shera Ram 2011 stated that having an unsound mind would mean mental conditions because of which a person cannot be expected to be aware of the consequences of his action. Sub examples mentioned by the court including dementia, loss of memory, and hallucinations. Their marriage, their partner, or annulled, neither husband or nor wife can be married at the time of marrying each other. For example, the Indian law for remarriage only when the bride or the groom has divorced. This passage is an excerpt from the Indian Matchmaking and Legal Criterion for Hindu Marriages written by Malvika Rajkumar, available at the
Good.
site.
Now, has anyone watched this show, Indian Matchmaking? No one. Oh, I just enjoyed it a lot. I binged it. It's awesome. I really enjoy this kind of totally mindless entertainment. It's
Should
very,
we?
very totally shallow, totally time pass. And now they have got one new show on Netflix called Bollywood Wives. Oh, it's the best. No, like it's like leave your brain at home and then go to watch that show. So even finally Shah Rukh Khan as well comes in the final episode, and I'm a very big fan not only of his like kind of movies, but the person that he is actually, because a lot goes into being Shah Rukh Khan, because Shah Rukh Khan is not a person, it's a brand, right? It's like this image of this global superstar who is so famous, so well respected and loved. So every time he walks into a room, he has to be that guy. He has to be Shah Rukh Khan, and many times what happens is like we also sometimes have to go to a party or somewhere and we're like, "Ah, I don't feel like I'll have to be so like you are tired, you're not feeling like socializing and like meeting everyone and talking so many things, and you just want to be quiet alone in your room, but you're Shah Rukh Khan. what to do. You have to go, you have to dance, you have to meet people, you have to impress people. Day in, day out, all the time, having that much focus on yourself. He does the work. At age of 50, he got a six-pack. He does the work as well. Like he is not only like, the reason I have respect for him is like he's not only Shah Rukh Khan in the movies, but he's like Shah Rukh Khan in real life. If you ever like see him or if you ever meet him, you will feel like this guy is a superstar. You know what I mean? So I haven't had the pleasure to meet him, but hopefully one day. Let's see. Okay. So now we'll do one more passage, or should we conclude for the day? Let us finish this one, okay? Since we have read it, let us conclude it. I think that you all are getting better passage by passage. Don't you think so? Like with each and every passage, you all are getting better. I can get that feeling from you. Not only in this class, but every day I see. Every day, every class that I have, you are better than the previous day. So the thing is not to be the best. The thing is to be better than yourself. Better than yourself a day ago. That's all. Okay? So come on. Let's do this quickly. Question number 11. Yes, Shantanu, go ahead.
The answer option B is correct. And like we have the alternative C. So C cannot be correct because there's nowhere mentioned that we have to take proper.
Sorry, did you say B or D?
B is correct. Option
B
B.
for Bombay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we have the alternative of C, but there is nowhere mentioned in the passage that we have to take approval of parents. So that's why B.
Very good. Next. Good question.
May I?
Yeah.
If Minnie converts herself to Buddhism, can the couple get married under the Hindu Marriage Act? Yes, sir. So option should be A. Yes, Buddhists are considered as Hindu for the purpose of Hindu Marriage Act.
Good.
So it's very clear.
Very, very clear. Very good. So option is A, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, this is a very interesting question. This is a question about what? Religious conversion, isn't it? So why religious conversion is in news right now?
So love jihad.
Love jihad. Okay. Now, what is your view about love jihad?
So
Anyone?
not much.
Great political agenda.
Great political agenda.
That's for sure.
Okay.
Indeed.
Okay. Great political agenda. Now, what do you think is view of consortium about love jihad?
As the consortium is like very liberal, so they'll be obviously, against love jihad, I guess.
Certainly. So let us assume that you are a local party worker for BJP, okay,
Yes, sir.
and you have very like hardline, Hindutva views, and you are also a CLAT aspirant, okay. You better leave your political views at home, because you will not get a single question right in this paper. Okay, if you answer from your own views and biases, okay. Every question in CLAT is biased, right? It's not an objective question, 2 plus 2, 4 plus 4. It's a biased question. What's your opinion about love jihad? Of course, it depends on who you ask. If you ask BJP, it's great, that law against love jihad. It's great. Now tell me one thing. You are so opposed to, what are you opposed to, first of all? What is this law actually targeting? It is targeting conversion of Hindu women,
Hindu girls into Muslims.
Muslim.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is it targeting converting Muslim girls into Hindus?
No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir. It's
What's the
not.
difference? If
Yes,
you're
sir.
talking about religious conversion, if
Yes,
you're
sir.
converting, first of all, if you're converting Hindu girls into Muslims, or if you're converting Muslim girls into Hindus, what's the difference? First of all, it's the same thing, religious conversion from one to another. Secondly, why only girls? Why
Yes,
are we
sir. Why
only
not
talking about
boys?
girls? As if they don't have any mind of their own. Girls have no mind. Whether they are Hindu or they are Muslim, that doesn't matter. Girls are brainless. In any religion, that is common across all the religions. Girls don't have any brains. They don't have any. Right now, in the passage we read, that consent has to come from both parties. for a marriage. But girls don't have any brains. How can they consent or not consent to anything? That is what the passage says, right? Girls are converted. Like girls did not have any of their own decision to convert or not to convert. Hindu girl converted to Muslim, Muslim girl converted to Hindu. What about boy? Muslim boy cannot convert to Hinduism. A Hindu boy cannot convert to Islam. It happens all the time. It happens all the time in reality. Why are we not talking about it? Thirdly, why Hindu Muslim? I am sure all of us, even if we are not cricket lovers, we watched that very romantic moment in past few days when the Indian guy who went abroad to study, instead of doing his studies, he was busy doing something else that was falling in love with an Australian girl, right? And in middle of the match, he was more busy proposing to that girl, and all the spectators were more busy watching that proposal rather than the match. Even the cricket players were like busy clapping and watching the proposal, isn't it? We are all laughing and smiling and enjoying, oh so cute and this that. Why? Because it's a Indian man and a foreigner girl. Okay, but that is also a Hindu man and a Christian girl,
Yes,
isn't
sir.
it? So that means that now Australia should have some law against Indians for a kind of love jihad that Indians are doing, marrying their girls, right?
Yes, sir.
What is all this food that these farmers are providing us? So these all are the things to think
And
about.
there was such a plethora of articles related to this love jihad in the newspapers. You don't even feel like reading those editorials.
Right. No, I'm not taking any sides. Okay. Ultimately, I'm a person who is in, education field, and I'm a person also who is kind of providing a service. Okay. So when I, teach, I don't show any bias towards anyone. Okay. Here or there. It could be Congress, BJP, black, white, Muslim, Hindu, whatever. Doesn't matter for me. But these are just some of my observations which I am making, as we go along. Okay, so anyway, let us do the last three questions and then we'll wrap up for the day. Okay, so number 13, who wants to answer? Okay, Shantanu, I think you have answered before. No? Huh? Anyone else? Who has not answered till now? Let me see. I think John has not answered till now for a while. Go ahead, John.
Ramesh and Lekha, both Hindus, have been in love for over 5 years. After initial troubles from their respective families, they finally got married with blessings from Ramesh's parents. The marriage happened as per the provisions of the Hindu Marriage Act. However, the day after marriage, Ramesh had an accident and as a result lost the sanity of his mind. Lekha's parents, who never agreed to the marriage, now challenged their marriage, saying that Ramesh is of unsound mind and such a marriage is not valid. Is their argument valid? So I think it's option B. No, the marriage is valid since Ramesh was sound mind at the time of the marriage. The accident happened after the marriage, so I don't think the marriage is void.
Very good. The purpose of mandating a sound mind for marriage is to ensure that the participants have freely given their consent to marriage. Therefore, it is obvious that what the law requires is for a person to have a sound mind at the time of marriage. No information to justify option C is given in the passage, so that cannot be the answer. Okay. So I think this is pretty clear. Next one. I think that this is a matter of general knowledge. Yes, Hijab?
It should be none of the above, D, because it's 21 and 18.
Good. 21 and 18. And do you know that this age was, kind of increased, decreased, or it has always been the same? Why it is different for men and women?
No, sir, I don't know about
Think
it.
about it. You all find out and let me know, okay, if there's any difference.
I think the court said that men wouldn't have the economic, I think, independence which they needed for raising a family by the age of 18.
But obviously women don't work, so women
Yes,
can
sir.
get married at 18. How does it matter? Obviously. Right. Then Now, last question for the day, number 15.
So it will be option C. Neither can marry again unless they get divorced first.
Very good, Varishta. Their marriage, bigamy is not allowed for either man or woman under Hindu Marriage Act. Their partner or annulled Indian law allows for remarriage only when the bride or groom has divorced. Right? Good. Very good, all of you. I'm happy with your progress. Are you happy with your progress? Do you think that you're getting better every day with every passage? Not happy with your progress. But do you think that you're getting better at least? Are you getting better than you were before?
So I don't know. I'm the same, I think.
Yes,
I think that you all are getting better. You all are answering questions. At least you all are a little less shy. That is very important. Maybe the answers are certainly getting better, but even attempting the questions, attempting the passage, trying to answer the questions, this is also certainly getting better. Okay, so don't worry, you all are doing well, and just keep at it. You do have 6 months right now, and with focused effort, everything is possible. Okay, but I have given you all 7 mocks, okay, which we are going to discuss slowly, like 3 4 passages at a time, right? Because every passage deserves half an hour for a discussion, as you can see, because it's not just that 5 questions and that passage, but a lot of other things also we have to discuss and form opinions. Now we will take a good amount of time discussing these passages. Okay, we will complete our 6 months with these 7 mock tests, plus I will keep on giving you some more material here and there, but you must solve at least 1 mock every week. Okay, have you all done the mocks given in the book CLAT 2.0?
yes, sir.
The 10 mocks, all
Yes,
of you
sir.
have done that? Okay, so these 7 now you all have to do at least one a day, one a week. The entire mock you can do it as sectional test if you like over the 5 days, or you can do it as a mock in 1 week. I'm giving you this flexibility. Okay, but for next 7 weeks I want you all to do these mocks. Okay, if you all want more material, you tell me. There is no lack of material, but there should not be lack of effort from your side. If you finish all the 7 mocks in 1 week, 1 mock every day, very, very good. I'll give you 10 more after that. Okay, but not less than a mock a week. This is the minimum I'm saying. Beyond this, whatever you want, I'll give you. No problem. But at least this much you must do. Okay. Are you all following everything clearly? Is everything clear what I'm teaching you? If you want any sort of explanation or revision or anything, you let me know. Okay, I'm happy to help you out whenever you all need. Okay. So having said that, let's close up the class for today. Okay. Thank you all for participating.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So we'll be discussing mocks in all the classes, like for all the subjects.
For all the subjects, what else would you like to do?
So, like as in like in tomorrow's logical reasoning class, will Shavik sir be discussing the legal reasoning section of the mock, or will he be teaching us critical reasoning?
Legal reasoning. Why legal reasoning?
Sorry, logical.
Logical of the mock. Like, what would you prefer? Tell me.
So, like if he'll be discussing the mock, then maybe we can solve it beforehand.
It's up to you if you want to solve it before. One way is understanding in the class like we are doing right now, but certainly solving it before is also good. Okay, whatever you all prefer. So you can discuss with him how he's planning to teach it. Okay, it's totally upon him. But I feel like we should do the mocks either in order or out of order. That is totally up to him. Like I think maybe in order would be better. So 1 2 3 4 like this we can proceed. Today I just started with 7 because like why not? But from next class we will go 1 2 3 4. Okay, so you all can start solving the mocks and then you can follow along in class. That will be easier for you, I think. Just coming to class and reading it suddenly, it's becoming a little cumbersome for you. Okay, no problem. Read it beforehand, solve it, come to class. We will discuss for all the subjects. Okay, I'll inform all the teachers. All right. Okay. Thank you all so much. See you all next week. Okay, take care.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.